Okay then, so with the first two layers done now, which is the white face and the set of edges around the bottom that are adjacent to that white face, we then move on to the next layer that I solve, which is essentially each corner that's adjacent to these edges that we put in last time and the edges on each side of those. So you're basically going to get those three pieces, and those three pieces, etc. all the way around the puddle. Now the first thing we need to do once again is to align our centres at the moment all the way around these, because now we're going to be solving parts of these faces. So I'll do it with the green facing, the green bar facing the green face, etc. all the way around on this Super Mega Minx. And that's it, that's all 5 of those done. So now let's find a corner that goes in here. So we want the green, orange, blue face. That's green, brown, blue, that's no good. Green, orange, blue is there. So let's put that in the top layer and fix that face again. Okay, so the easy way to tell whether it's aligned properly is to just put it onto the blue face. You can see there and see if it lines up with the centerpiece. It puts the blue face, the blue colour on with the blue centre, so it's on the right direction. But we just need to bring the centerpiece around slightly so now they do match up, and we can turn it back into position and fix this face that we disturbed. So you can see that's now in there. So now we want either the green blue or the blue orange edge piece. So let's see, we've got the green blue one right here. So what we need to do is put it on the top face, out of the way, and then we basically insert it in a very similar way to what I did the edges around the white face. So all I do is turn it off to the side there so it's not going to be disturbed. I bring the green blue corner piece up to the top layer with an R2 turn. Do an F turn to remove it from that top layer again, out of the way. Turn the edge across and then reverse the moves once again. So I'm doing an F prime and R2 prime. You can see that's put that edge piece in. We then want the blue orange edge piece, which is here. So once again, put it into the top layer, move it away and turn this face back to where it came from, and move this over around the back. Now this works exactly the same, but I need to do things the other way around because the edge needs to go onto the other side of this corner piece. So if I turn it with, and if I call this the F still, that would still be an F2 prime, F prime, 2 F prime, and R prime. Bring the edge in and match it up with the corner. You can see I have now got those 3 pieces in position. So continue around to the next one. We want orange, yellow, pink. So I can see that the pink will come across onto the pink centerpiece like that, the pink colour. So just like move the centerpiece, rotate it so that the centerpiece is pointing in the right direction and match it up. You can see that the outer bars now match, and put it in position. And then we insert the edges in the same way. I've got the orange pink edge piece here, so I'll just put that in the top layer like I did the others, and move it out of the way and do the same thing one more time. So R2, F, bring the edge across, F prime, R2 prime, and then we want the yellow pink. Where's the yellow pink? Down here. So once again, put it into the top layer, move it out of the way, and fix this face. But I can see that it's actually not going to be the right way around, because once I turn this up, the yellow is going to be on the top face. So I need the yellow part of this edge on the top face. So we're just doing the normal flip. So just take it down, up, and back. Fix the faces that I've just moved out of a position, and one more time. So we do the F prime 2, R prime, bring the edge across, and undo the moves that we just did. And let's put those 3 in. So we just continue like that all the way around. It's not too complicated, this. So yellow, blue, green we want. Here it is down here. So bring it into the top layer and see how we can match it up with where it belongs. You can see that will put that piece on the green face where it belongs. So just turn the centre piece to be aligned correctly, bring it back and put it in position. The yellow-green edge piece is down here, so once again just put it into the top layer, fix this face back where it belongs and see if this is oriented correctly. I can see straight away that it's not, because the yellow piece is going to go to the top when I turn it up like that, so I need the yellow part of this edge piece up. So once again just flip it over like that, fix these faces, so just messed up, and do what we were doing before. So in R2 F, bring the edge in. That's the wrong way around. Actually over here. So, and then undo the moves within F prime and then R2 prime. And then want the blue green edge, which is down the back here. So one more time, put it into the top layer and then fix this face. So the green blue is the wrong way around again. I need this colour that's down the bottom right on the top. So it needs to be blue on the top. So one more time, just flip that around and fix those edges. So now I've got the blue on the top, and do what we did last time. So it'll be a F prime 2, R prime, bring the edge around and match it up by reversing that sequence of moves. So one more time, blue, purple, red, that's here. It's on the right face, but the centre's not oriented correctly yet. So we just need to move it away, orient the centre correctly and bring it back. You see it now matches up and goes into position. Blue red edge is down here. You can see that I want the blue piece on the top, so if we put it into the top layer like that with the blue on top, and then fix these faces one more time, and same as all the other times, we then do this R2 F, bring the edge across, F prime, R2 prime. Purple red edge is over the back here, so put it in the top layer, fix the face, and one purple on the top. Yep, that's right. So F2 prime, R prime, bring the edge across, R, F2, and the last set, which is purple, green and brown, which is down here. Put it on the top layer and see where it gets to. Okay, so we need to rotate that because we can't get the brown one edge onto the brown face, so just do an R to rotate it, bring it across and fix the face. Now you can now see that the brown will go onto the correct face, so bring the centre so it's up so it's oriented correctly, bring the brown across to meet it and put it in position. Simple as that. So finally, purple and brown edge piece, which is down the back here, so it's already on the right face. It's oriented incorrectly though. We need the purple face on. Oh, it is correct actually. So we want the purple colour on the top. So one more time, R2 F, bring the edge across, F prime, R2 prime, and the last edge will be the green brown, which is here. We want the green on the top, so it's oriented incorrectly, so just flip that around, move it out of the way and fix these faces back where they belong, and do F2 prime, R prime, bring the edge around, R, F2, and you can see we've now got those three pieces in all the way around the puzzle. Okay then, so basically we need to do that exact same sequence here on the hexaminx. If I turn that original face like I was before to show exactly what's what we want is a corner here with two edges attached to it. So this is the edge piece we just inserted, and we want the corner that goes above that. So the question is, what kind of piece is that? If you look at it in a symmetrical fashion, it's the other side of this edge piece, so you're going to want one of these three colour corners in there. So what's it going to be? It's going to be orange, white and blue, which is around here. So let's first of all make sure our centres are aligned correctly, which they're not at the moment. So as I said before, you need the two house shapes kind of pointing, with the roofs pointing away from each other. That gives you a flat surface. It's hard to see in there exactly which way that's pointed. I think that's not right. Let's just turn it one more. That's it. I can see this right now. Yep. Okay. I've got the orange blue here, so let's just do what we were doing before. Just put that into the top layer out of the way and fix this face again. and see where it belongs. So obviously, if I just, it's on the right face at the moment, so if I just rotate it down round, you can see that it doesn't orient correctly. So put it back to the top face and do a rotation on it, and it's still it then orients correctly, but it's not lined up with the centerpiece. So what I need to do is just turn it away from the centerpiece. The centerpiece belongs that way, so it needs to point at this bottom corner of the house. So if I put it up like that, I think that will be correct. You see it matches up now with that centerpiece and everything aligns. Put it back in, you can see that it does now, in fact, go into the correct position, matching that centerpiece. We then want to do what we did before with the edges that surround it. I've got a blue-white edge in here in the wrong orientation. I don't know whether it's the right one or the wrong one at the moment. What I'm going to do is try with this one over here. I've got the blue-white edge since it's easier to access right now, and it will actually push the other one out when I put it in, so it might, well, even if it's the wrong one, it'll actually put the other one in a position where I can solve it. So this is the one that goes on the right hand side of the face, so we're going to do what we did before. We've got the edge piece we're looking at in the top face. We want the white piece on the top, because once we turn this up, the white will be on top, as you can see. So we do what we did before. We do an F2 prime and an R prime. Bring the edge around into position and see if it matches up, and it doesn't. So it turns out that is the wrong blue-white edge piece, but that's not a problem because we've actually got the right one in the top layer now. We just need to flip that around because we want the white piece facing the top. So let's just do that now. Just bring it down and up and across back to where it came from, and that's now in a correct position for it. So we just do the same as we did before. Do the F2 prime, 1, 2, and then an R prime to bring the corner out of the way. Bring the edge around that we want. You can see that it does line up now with that blue center, which is good. Do an R and an F2 to put everything back where it belongs, and you can see that that edge is now solved. So the next thing we want is the one that comes on the other side of this corner, which is an orange blue. Now once again, there's going to be two of these, so we don't necessarily know which one is going to be the right one just yet. So we'll just try one and see if it matches up. Where is an orange blue edge? Blue yellow. Blue yellow. Where are you? Blue red, blue red, blue white. Am I going mad? No, it's definitely an orange blue that I want. Where can't I find one? Ah, orange blue. I was looking for the wrong type. I was looking for a big blue and small orange. Of course, it's the other way around. It's a big orange and small blue that I want. Okay, so do what we did before. Just put that orange blue into the top layer and rotate it out of the way. And fix this edge so the centre's oriented correctly. Okay, so let's just fix this orange one. This orange centre here as well while I'm at it. Okay, so here's my orange blue. I need to have it out of the way around here like we did on the hexaminx, and just do the exact same sequence of moves as before. We need to have, let's see, when we do this R2, we want the blue down the side and the orange on top, so that means this edge is oriented incorrectly. So let's just correct that, just move it down, up and across, and then fix these two centres that I just altered. So we've got orange blue is around here. Let's just put it back on this left hand side so it's in the same situation as we were using before, so it should now work assuming it's the right orange blue piece. So doing R2, 1, 2, followed by an F to move it out of the way and bring the edge piece in, and you can see it matches up with that blue centre, which is good. We're doing F prime to bring these corners back, which looks good, and R2 prime puts everything down the bottom, and you can see that we've got those three pieces in position now. So we just carry on moving around. What will be our next corners put in around this way? Well, this is our originally solved layer, so we want the corner that goes above this orange and green piece here. Now if you look at it as this face, you can see that once you get away from the corner and this edge, you need one of these fat two colour corner pieces to go in there, and you can see that the orange green piece is right here. Actually, if you just turn it down slightly, it goes into position, but that means the centre is out of position slightly. So if we just turn it off, rotate the centre away one turn, because that's all it needed, bring it back and rotate it down, we've put the corner piece into position, and the orange centre piece is still where it belongs. So then we want the two edge pieces that surround this corner. Now the first one is obviously going to be the orange fat piece that goes between the two centres. I can see that that is down there, hidden between those two pieces, so it's already in my top layer where I want it, which is good. So now we just do the same kind of sequence as we were before. We don't need to worry about orientation of that piece because it can't go in incorrectly, which is good. So now we just do exactly what we were doing before to insert it. So once again we do the same sequence of moves to get the edge piece into position. What we need to do is we want it on the right side first, so we do an F2 prime like we were before. 1, 2. Do an R prime to move that corner out of the way. And then bring the edge across into position. The R matches it up with the corner, and the F2 puts everything in place. And we then want the green orange edge piece. There's only one left, so we know it's going to be the right one. It's this one. It's round the back here on the top face already, which is good. It needs to be, let's see, it needs to be green on top, which it already is, so that's good as well. So we can just do the same sequence and moves one more time. So it's R1, R2. F. Bring the edge around to this side. You can see that it matches up with the orange centerpiece straight away, so that's good. And then we do an F prime and an R2 prime to put that one into the position it belongs. Alright, so moving on, we've now done 2 sets of corners and edges. We've done those 3 and those 3. So we then move on to what will be the next corner, which is adjacent to, let's see, this edge piece that we've already got in here, the green one. So we want the fat green and yellow edge piece, sorry, corner piece to go in here. So let's see if we can find that. Green and yellow is around here. So let's just bring it onto the yellow face. And you can see straight away that's going to be incorrectly oriented if we turn that into position. So that's not going to work. So what we need to do is let's just put it on that yellow face and move it out of the way for a second so we can fix this other one over here. We don't want to be messing up the stuff we've already solved, obviously. Let's just orient our centerpiece correctly so it's pointing, the roof is pointing at the green face, so that's good. We then want actually this green and yellow piece to match up to this yellow centre exactly the same way as this blue yellow piece is at the moment. So let's just turn it out of the way and bring our piece up. You can see that it's still not right, so if we just turn it across the face and bring it back down, that will rotate it. Turn it off, bring our face back up. You can see that it will actually line up with the centerpiece here, but we haven't actually got the centre quite oriented correctly. So we'll move it back away, turn the face one more time to put the centerpiece pointing this way, bring it back. You can see that they do now match up the 2 yellow pieces, and we can rotate it down into its correct position. We've then got 2 green and yellow edge pieces to put in adjacent to it. So let's see how we do. See if one of them, see if we can get the correct one in position first time. We do exactly the way we were before. We've got a green and yellow edge piece here, so it's out of the way off this face. So we do what we were doing before. We do a 1, F2 and an F2 prime and then an R prime to move the corner out of the way. Bring the edge piece across. You can see straight away that that doesn't match up, so that's no good. I've done that completely wrong. Let's just put everything back. What I need is the green on top, so it's actually oriented incorrectly at the moment, so let's just flip that around. So bring it down to the side and back up and turn it away from the face it's just come from, so we can orient the centres back to where they belong. Okay, so let's try that again. We've now got our green yellow edge piece with the green on top, which is what we want, so let's try that one more time. So we do a F2 prime, 1, 2, and R prime to bring that corner down out of the way. Bring our edge piece across. You can see it matches up with our centre piece there, which is a good sign. Doing R to bring the corner back to meet it, and F2 to put everything back into position. And you can see that that is in position. We got lucky. The other green yellow edge piece is actually already attached to the corner, but it's oriented incorrectly, so we need to basically do the same thing again the other way around. So we just do a F2, no sorry, an R2 and an F. That removes them from each other. Turn the edge piece out of the way and do the F prime and R2 prime. Put everything, all these back, but that's left our edge piece on the top, which is what we want. So if we now rotate this around to the side, what we want is, you can see that if we turn this up, we want our green on top again. That's the way it needs to be. So we need to orient that edge piece correctly again. So if we just turn it down and up, back onto the top face, correct this orientation. Move it off of this face we've just rotated, so we can then correct the orientation again of the red centre. So we've now got it on this green yellow edge piece on the top face, oriented correctly. Turn it off to the side like we've been doing all the other times, and we then do an R2, 1, 2, an F to remove this corner piece from the top face. Bring the edge around, it matches up with the centre, same, and undo those moves to put it all back in position. Alright then, so moving around, if I just misalign my first face again, just so I can orient myself, I then want to do the corner piece that matches up to this red-green centre here. And once again, that's going to be the fat one, so it's going to be a small green triangle with a fat red piece, which you can see is right here. I can actually see that it will turn straight in like that, but obviously that won't orient it correctly with the centre. So if we just move it out of the way briefly, move the centre around by one position and bring it back, it will now be oriented correctly with the centre. You can see that they match up now. So that's a simple way of putting that in. We then want the edge pieces, so let's start with the easy one, the fat red piece, which is this around here? Yeah, it's around the back here. So let's just put that into the top layer. We're not worrying about this corner piece here. We haven't actually inserted those corners yet, so when we can. It's just a random chance that this happens to be in the correct position, so don't worry about that orange blue piece right now. Just bring everything off of that face and into the top layer, which is this yellow, and put them back. Okay, so we want the red edge piece to match up to here, so what we're going to do is put this, let's see, I've got the red edge piece on the yellow layer, so that's fine. So we'll go to 1 R2 and an F to bring the corner we're interested in out of the way. Rotate the edge into position, and F prime matches everything up, and R2 prime puts them back in position. So that's nice and easy. And we then want a green red edge piece, which once again is the only green red edge piece remaining, so we know it's going to be the right one, which is always makes things easier. It's around the back here, so let's just put it up to the yellow face, turn it away and bring this face back to where it belongs. Got the green red there. So let's see, we're going let's just move it one more round to the side actually, just so it's in an easier position. We want green on top, which is right, so we do a F2 on this face, 1, 2, sorry, an F2 prime, then we do an R prime to remove that corner from that face. As you can see, the red green, bring the edge around to where it belongs. You can see straight away they match it up with that centerpiece, which is good, as I've said many times now. An R matches everything together, and an F2 prime puts them all in position. So that's 4 of them done. We've only got this last set of 3 to do now, which is, let's see, we need one of the 3 colour corners in here, so that's white, red and blue, which is right here. Let's see how that's oriented. You can see straight away that's oriented incorrectly. So let's do an R to change the orientation, move it from that face, and do an R prime to put everything back where it came from. It's still not right, so let's just put it back on the face once more. Do an R, change its orientation. You can see it does now go onto the blue face, but it's not lined up with the centre, so just remove it from there one more time. The centrepiece needs to match up with this bottom right corner of the centrepiece, so move that up to meet it. Turn this top face to turn it on the face. You can see it now does line up with that centrepiece, and put everything back in position. Okay, so now we want a red blue centre edge piece, which could be any one of 2 one more time. So let's find our first red blue edge piece, and I can see I've got one down here, so let's try that one. Let's just put that into the... Okay, so my red blue edge piece is now on the yellow face here. I can see this oriented incorrectly. I need the when I do my F2 prime, I need the long red edge section of it on top. So let's just flip that around so it's on the top. So just bring it down and back up again. Just turn it away from those faces so we can correct those orientations of those centres again. And let's see if that works. So it's got the long red face on, long red part of the edge piece on top now. So let's just do that. F2 prime, 1, 2, and R prime to move the corner we're interested in out of the way. Bring the edge piece around. It doesn't match up with our centre, so it's going to be the wrong one. So that's fine. So we just need to find our other edge piece, which happens to be down here. So what I'll just do actually is remove that edge piece from that we've just put in by basically reversing what we just did. So just do an F2 prime and an R prime, move the edge out of the way, and R F2 puts the corner back into position. So all I'll do is insert the edge piece, this red blue edge piece from the other side, which will swap it with this one here, this red blue that we've got down here, which is the correct one. So we're doing 1, 2, R2 and an F. If I can keep everything aligned, bring the other edge piece in and an F prime, R2 prime, which puts them back. And now I've got the correct edge piece in the top. I want the red section next adjacent to the yellow, as we said before. So let's just flip that around, do it down and back up, move it across, and put these centres back where they came from. Yeah, that's right. So now we've got the red blue oriented correctly over here. We then do the same as we were doing before, an F2 prime. Oh, if it'll turn properly. 1, oh, where was I? 1, 2, and R prime to move this corner out of the way. Bring the edge piece across. You can see that it does now match up with the centre, which is good. And R matches the corner to it, and an F2 puts them in position. So our final edge piece in this section is going to be a blue and white one. We've only got one of them left because we've already got one inserted here, so we know it's going to be the correct one when we find it. Where is it? It's down here. So let's just put that onto the yellow face and move it away to make it in a position that's suitable for us. We want the white on the bottom and the blue on the top, so let's just flip that around. So take it down and back up to the yellow face, move it away, and then fix these two centres that we just adjusted while we're turning it. So we've now got the blue white edge piece the right way around. Move it around to the left hand side and then do the same sequence we've been doing all along, which is R2 F to move that corner that we wanted next to out of the way, bring the edge piece around, and I've done it all wrong, I've got it upside down. Okay, turns out it was correctly oriented in the first place, so let's just fix that again. These are mistakes you make while solving this thing because it's quite a difficult puzzle to visualise exactly what's right, so let's just bring that down and back up to the yellow face, move it away, fix these two sides, and one last time bring it around to that side and try and put it in position out of the way there. So we then do one last time that move that we were doing, so it's R2 F, bring the edge piece around, it now matches up with that centre piece, which is good. F prime, R2 prime, puts everything in position. So we do now have these in exactly the same state. One more time, the Super Mega Minx and the Hexaminx, and we're ready to move on to the next stage. I'll see you in the next video.